Hey guys, 219 Tiger here, and as you can see from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about mental health. And the reason why I'm talking about this some more is recently I had a friend who took his own life. And it was unexpected. And nobody knew he was suffering in silence. And he never told any of us. We didn't know. Because he put such a good facade on that we didn't know. And it's very easy to mask and put on a happy face and let others around you think it's okay and that you're doing okay and stuff like that. I've done that where I have put on the fake mask. I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm doing alright, when in reality I was not okay. I was spiraling. And the thing is, like, it's a lot harder for men to kind of talk about their feelings. And I hate to go into this whole society spiel, but a lot of it is men from the time they are born. They are raised to be the provider, the protector, and kind of be stoic. Kind of not show any emotion. And that's why men tend to suffer in silence. And a lot of times it's hard for us to kind of open up about our feelings. Especially like how society dictates things. That men are supposed to be a certain way. You're supposed to be stoic and strong and a provider and this and that and everything else. What they don't teach you is how to deal with mental illness. How to deal with your emotions. The first thing I want to say is it's okay not to be okay. That's perfectly okay. Because there are some days I'm not okay. And it's not always easy to sit there and say, hey, look, I'm sad. There are sometimes we don't know why we're depressed, to be quite honest. I mean, and like I said, it comes back to all the stigma with it. And I've always said it, the stigma kind of hurts. And another thing is society, more so with men, hits it a lot harder. Because again, it goes from how men are raised. Men are to be the strong ones, the stoic ones, the provider, the protector, the this, the that. So, we're not taught to be connected with our feelings. Because to be connected with our feelings, in society's eyes, makes you less of a man. Which I totally disagree with. That's why I say screw society, because society doesn't always know best. And I will continue to have this conversation, because it's something that with this conversation we need. And we're not taught how to deal with certain feelings. And the thing is, like, years ago, I used to think I was the only one that was crazy. I was losing my mind. I was crazy. And this is going way back. Because I was always taught, well, I shouldn't say taught, but society dictated you're not supposed to be open with your feelings. So, reaching out for help wasn't really an option for me at that time. So yes, I've tried to take my life several different times. Because I felt alone. And I wanted the pain to end. Then I learned that I wasn't alone. There's a stigma that if you open up about how you feel, it's a bad thing. And this whole suffering in silence needs to stop. Society should not dictate if something bad is going on in your head. If you feel like you're harming yourself, you should never be afraid to speak up or speak out. Talk to a parent, a teacher, somebody you trust, a friend, a therapist, a psychologist, a counselor, a priest, somebody. That's why more men are taking their lives, because society has dictated that you have to be a rock all the time. Don't let them see you cry. Don't show no emotion. You need to be stoic. And it makes it hard. Now, my friend was one of them people that was like that. Men aren't supposed to show emotion. Men aren't supposed to feel. And there's a societal misconception and belief on both ends of the spectrum. Where, and this, I mean, no offense to any ladies watching this video, but women tend to be more in tune with their feelings and more emotional. So they may have a little easier time of opening up. Where men, it's a lot different. And yes, I know there's all this societal misconception. All men think about is this, and all men do is this, and that, blah, 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 blah-bitty, 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 blah. Because that's what society has dictated and said. And that's the whole issue. Is that men go through things also. I've already talked about how I am a sexual assault survivor. And here is the thing. The people you would think I would have thought would have been my allies were the ones that said the most horrible things to me. Oh, you're a guy. You wanted it. You deserve it. That's all men think about. That's not what all men think about. Sorry to say that. I am me. I can't speak for every every man on the planet. But it's that whole conception and stereotyping and stigma. And the reason why I bring this up, because mental illness get stigmatized all the time. I've done a video about blaming sexual assault survivors, so I'm so tired of that also. And by the way, that does affect mental health. Because we tend to want to blame sexual assault survivors and tell them it's their fault, they asked for it when they really didn't. And it doesn't matter if you're male or female. Nobody should ever feel less than what they're worth. Because there are so many, my friend Mark has schizophrenia, and people are afraid of him. They're afraid that he's going to snap and he's going to go nuts and kill everybody and all that. And it's the furthest thing from the truth, because most of them people don't do their research on schizophrenia or being bipolar or having BPD, or which are all, and all these are treatable, by the way. Yes, you have to take medication the rest of your life, but there is help out there. There's always help out there. It's the same thing with eating disorders. ED. People believe that if this person would just eat, they'll gain weight. There's more to it than that. It's not just that simple. It's not. And for people who don't suffer with these certain things, it's easy for them to naturally say, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Everybody, because they don't do the research. Or society has told them certain things. And yes, it does hurt knowing that somebody close to me got to that point where they felt they no longer wanted to be here. And a lot of us 100% did not know he was that until after he was gone. Because there was no signs. This was out of the blue. And no, he did not do drugs. He had a good job. It seemed like he lived life. But somewhere along the way, there was something darker. Because eventually we found, because he would write down his dark thoughts. And they were dark. They were sad. It was horrifying. Because we didn't know he was that far down. He was spiraling that far down. So there's not always going to be signs. And it is that simple. This is why I always constantly say we need to be kind to one another. Because you don't realize a simple hi, a simple smile, a simple how are you doing could actually change somebody. It can make a difference. Sometimes reaching out to somebody can make a difference. Life is short. Don't take people for granted. Because this person was a kind, beautiful soul. That was the type that would give you the shirt off his back. And none of us knew he was suffering in silence. And nobody should have to suffer in silence ever. Ever. I used to suffer in silence. And it sucks. Because I was always worried about the judgment. I was always worried about being a burden on somebody. Now it shouldn't be a reason not to speak out. And it's hard. So I mean, if this video can help one person, then I'm happy. I'm gonna leave a number at the end, a suicide number at the end of this. Guys, there's help out there. As well as ladies. But I'm kind of directing this towards the guys because we tend to suffer in silence. There's help out there. Ladies, please understand that it's a lot harder because men don't talk about their feelings like you think they do. Because of society. Nobody should have to suffer in silence again. I'm going to end this video. Please stay strong. Stay lucid. And remember, love is louder. And I love you guys. And I will see you next video. Mwah. I love you guys. And please be kind to one another. And I'll see you guys really soon.